I going to make it as a lesbian if I can't even manage to score with a woman?
Toni, a high-skilled social worker and an award-winning nurse, is set to marry the esteemed physician Dr. Ralph Mallory. She is currently employed at a hospital managed by Ralph's father.
It is my pleasure to present our special award for distinguished service in nursing and social work, the Sally Pitts Award, to Miss Antoinette Wilson. I am very pleased to announce the recent engagement of tonight's award recipient to our Chief of Obstetrics and Gynecology.
After losing her teenage son, Toni realizes just how brief life really is, and she is committed to living it the way she wants.
Are you okay?
I just, thought I'd finally start tackling this mess.
Toni's best friend, Van, also works at the hospital and has been really helpful during her tough times.
Be a good role model for that poor kid. You want me to give him the lowdown?
I'll take care of it.
Okay, whatever.
I said something wrong.
No, I guess I just wish you'd let me do a little more.
A seemingly normal middle-class woman in a steady relationship, Toni actually has a deep, long-lasting desire for women. As the story unfolds, we see her trying to cope with these feelings and fit into what society expects of her.
I'm doing a research project on lesbianism. Lesbians.
Well, you could start with lesbian fiction.
Do you know any place I could go to get information on lectures and the Gay and Lesbian Community Center? I'm headed that way now. I'd be glad to show you.
Toni is on a journey to discover who she really is. She visits gay bars and attempts to date women, but it feels like she just can't connect with anyone. Even when a woman tries to flirt with her, Toni doesn't seem to feel at ease.
Thanks. Thanks. Sure.
Toni is curious about being a lesbian, but the pressure is too much for her. So she decides to open up to Ralph about her feelings. Unfortunately, Ralph feels let down and tells Toni that it's probably just a phase she's going through.
For people to occasionally think romantically about the same sex.
Maybe it's a hormonal problem.
A hormone problem?
Thought you said you'd lost your desire.
Well, yes. And no.
Or yes for women, no for men.
One night when Toni visited the gay bar again, she was shocked to spot Van. Even though Van is actually a lesbian, she had been keeping it a secret because she didn't want anyone at work, not even Toni, to find out her true identity.
So, you're gay. Whoa, boss starts off bold.
I'm sorry, I was just...
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm gay.
Toni opens up to Van about her feelings, and Van has always been there for her as she discovers who she really is. Then Van asks Toni about her engagement to Ralph. Toni explains that she broke it off, but Ralph just can't seem to accept that Toni is really into women.
So much going on.
I hear you. So I guess it's no big deal that you haven't worn your engagement ring for the past 3 days.
Yeah, I don't wear it to work anymore because I was afraid of losing it.
I know what you mean. You lose your teeth around here if they weren't attached, right?
Toni finally caught Yvonne's eye and decided to join her, but she was totally unprepared for Yvonne's request for help with a threesome. The biggest shock for Toni came when she realized that Yvonne's client was none other than Ralph's father. As Toni leaves, Van is actually standing outside waiting for her. Toni then tells Van what Yvonne is really up to. Toni feels really upset because she had been looking forward to kissing a girl and wanted to understand what it's like to make out as a lesbian. Toni unexpectedly kissed Van and they ended up having a really special night together. They both figured out that they had feelings for each other. However, Toni was still getting used to everything, and it was tough for her to deal with this kind of relationship, especially since Van was her best friend.
What's the sunflower all about?
Gee, you're welcome.
Don't make jokes.
It's a gift, Toni.
They had no idea that someone recorded their private night and then gave the tape to Ralph's father. Toni couldn't deny it since it was obviously her and Van in the video. But then Toni dropped a bombshell, saying she knew about him and Yvonne. She told him that she broke up with Ralph and that she's actually really into women.
I guess it's safe to say the wedding's off.
Ralph and I broke up a long time ago, Mr. Mallory.
I'm not used to this kind of long-distance relationship. When I like somebody, I like to be with them. Don't you? Hello? Earth to Toni.
Look, Van, I'll call you, okay?
Toni went to the gay bar and spotted Van. Before they met again, Toni felt really sad because she had told Van that she wasn't ready for a relationship. Toni said she was sorry and explained that she needed to figure some things out, but she really loves Van. They ended up having a great night, just dancing and enjoying each other's company.
Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.